And we will give each team an opportunity to have a 30-second rebuttal after each team answers. And we will go in the same order that we did the questioning. Then I'll open up to you guys, and we'll kind of play it by ear depending on what kind of questions you guys have. So the first question to Dan, Nicole, and Vanessa first. What do you believe the role of SGA should be on Western's campus, and why are you the best candidate to lead SGA in that role?
And a good representative on SGA is being the voice of the student body and having the communication between administrations, the student body, organizations, and really what I would like to ask everyone is what I could do for you.
Represent what the student body actually wants to happen. And if there's something that's going on that's pretty much just like not good for the students, I mean, SGA is here to represent the students. They're there to voice the opinion to the administration. I mean, personally, I think that SGA should be bridging just like a little bit of a gap, as my campaign slogan says, and helping the students be able to be more freely accepted with the administration and be able to say what they need to and be more comfortable.
No one should be ignored. No one should be cast aside. I think what made me good. I'm familiar with parliamentary procedure. I'm aware of how things run. I've been in multi-win before. Like I said, I'm very well aware of parliamentary procedure.
10 seconds.
The people, WCU students, they really make up what the school is. The cares and concerns of the students should be the cares and concerns of SGA. As for why I think I am the leader of why I should be the next president is I'm very involved on campus in various organizations, held numerous leadership positions and taken leadership courses here at Western, and I feel that's why myself, Jared has something to say.
And I agree as well. That definitely SGA is supposed to be utilized as terms of bridging. I hate to steal your pun, but bridging a gap between the students and the administration. So, like everyone said, that so their voice can be heard.
Resolution that recently passed the Senate.
Okay, I personally voted no, just because, I mean, some of the stuff that was in that resolution was a little bit redundant because it was saying some of the stuff that's already in place. We're already supposed to be enforcing those rules. It's the RA's job to enforce those rules and right at the dormitories, resident hall. But it's already something that's there, so all we did was create a new council to uphold the rules. So I just felt it was a redundant just expansion that really didn't need to be there at all, so I voted no.
Just to reiterate what Doug said, I also voted no. I was against it. I was against the smoke ban when it first came out, and I was against just something that's very redundant that does not need to be repeated again and again. Just to reinforce it.
The fact that it needs to be, the current 50-foot rule should be enforced a little bit more. I know there are plenty of times when I walk out of class and I see people just standing around outside a building smoking a cigarette, and I mean, I understand that could be a concern for some of the students that feel as they don't need to, they really don't want to walk through the smoke. If it was enforced a little bit better, that would be good. If it was a possible student-led organization, a chance for students to stand up and maybe possibly write out a ticket or something like that, that could prove to be an opportunity for them to get some sort of experience. Jared?
Also, I think another method, like they said, I don't think that reinstating this smoking thing did really much of anything, since there was already a rule that you couldn't smoke within 50 feet. But I think that 50 feet rule should not even be applicable. I think it should be smoking zones on campus to keep it away, you know, like low places away from high traffic and stuff like that.
10 seconds.
Smoking's bad, it kills.
To see what the students wanted and to find a solution. What we found was that really SGA found that Western isn't quite ready and quite there for a complete smoking ban, so that was just not in the cards. So from there, we decided to look into how it was being enforced, and we found that enforcement was very poor on the campus. So what we called for in the resolution was for stronger enforcement of the 50-foot rule, because if we tried to do designated areas on campus or any other rules, they wouldn't be followed through, just like the 50-foot rule is not being followed through. So we called for better enforcement of that and to create a committee under student affairs to have...
Yeah, basically the resolution wasn't reiterating anything. The resolution is saying that SGA is in support of supporting stronger enforcement of the 50-foot rule. That's essentially what it is.
Submitted, so that's kind of already there. Just want to point that out.
To me, you know, I'm sure it's news to a lot of us here. So I think somebody should take initiative and band something together to where these students can actually have some sort of like, I don't know, like substance in this, you know. Somebody just walking up and handing you a little piece of paper with something on it you've never seen before is nothing, but if there's like, you know, time, okay.
In there to begin with, so this can be reevaluated every year. And in terms of smoking policies in general, the administration is not willing to change the current policy. Despite our efforts, despite our conversations with them, that's why we created the committee, so that this can be investigated every year. Thank you.
What influence would you want SGA to have on the current issue of tailgating during baseball games?
Personally, I'm for tailgating. I do like to show off my school spirit when it comes to sporting events and such. And I do love baseball, WCU baseball. I love going to Hennon Stadium at Warren G. Childress Field and just watching a game. It's just, in my years past, it was amazing to go out there and just hang out with fellow students, some faculty members, and just watch WCU baseball beat the crap out of another team. It was, the atmosphere was amazing. It provided for away teams. They always hated to come to our field because they just knew that the atmosphere was just out of control. They knew that they were not able to compete. I mean, our record this year is 18-8. At home, 12-3. With statistics like that, it shows that when the students are there, it's amazing. But as for the quote-unquote tailgating, tailgating is defined by the university only to happen at football games. We would need to get something passed to be able to tailgate at baseball games officially through NCAA policies and all such.
10 seconds. And also there's obviously, from my experience at the tailgating, there was very low enforcement from the administration here. I mean, okay.
This issue has been very controversial and one that we've heard your voice on. I'll go into the administration's stance on the issue and why the alcohol use at tailgate was prohibited. Basically, this was never part of university policy. The policy essentially never changed. Drinking was never allowed there. They deemed it as quote-unquote picnicking, so that they could do this. But there's been issues with safety issues, violence, and property damage during baseball games and after baseball games that caused them to look into this policy a little bit more. There's also issues with state law that we met with Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Sam Miller, yesterday evening. He basically said that state law, there's no drinking in college sport facilities. And essentially, if you're watching a game behind the baseball stadium, you're in a college sports facility. So there's an issue with that policy, and also there's issues with construction. They're constructing a batter's eye, which essentially blocks view from that back area that originally was deemed for the tailgating area. So once that is constructed within a year, 2 years, it's, pardon? 10 seconds. Within a year, 2 years, that whole area won't even be visible from behind there. So they wanted to begin the changes now with the tailgating policy regarding baseball.